Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 45 of the Geek Perspective. I am your host, Roy, and on today's show, we are discussing Ready Player One with my co hosts, Derek and Tom. What's going on, guys?
What's up, Roy? How you doing today?
Living the dream.
Surprisingly warm day out today.
Yeah. This weather's crazy, dude. I mean, I don't complain because it's warm and I'm always cold, but it's kind of scary that it's like 60 in the all winter. This in New England, it's not a good trend, in my opinion.
It's almost March.
True.
St. Patty's Day.
Yes, it is.
That's when we'll get our first snowstorm.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, excuse me, now I'm getting tired. We were discussing earlier about, us getting tired, and now all of a sudden, I'm getting tired.
And I woke up. I took my medicine, and all of a sudden, it woke me up. So,
Tom's going to go all night long now.
yep.
All right, so Tom, I heard you brought something to the show today.
Yeah, I posted on Instagram. We actually, in the last hour, we've got quite a bit of interest on Instagram. It doesn't mean they're going to watch, but a lot of people have been showing support for these. So yeah, we did an unboxing. Was that last week? We did the pop protectors, or was that 2 weeks ago?
Last week.
So we're primarily a movie review guys, but we're doing unboxings. We know how popular they are. Plus, we're nerds and we collect stuff and stuff. So this isn't technically an unboxing, but it's like the newest products by Funko that aren't pops. They have these soda lines, and it's not actually soda. There's actually a vinyl figures inside. So, which I dig because they got kind of an old school feel to them. And inside there's a vinyl figure, and you have a chance at a chase, a 1 in 6 chase. So I thought it'd be fun to open them and see if we got any chase today. And then they'll be on display in the studio afterwards. But yeah, we figured it'd be kind of fun to open them on. So I have 4 today that I'm gonna open very quick. We got a big boy from Ad Icon, the big restaurant chain. We got Lion-O from Thundercats. We got Crusader Rabbit, which this is the one I'm most excited for, even though I'm not really familiar with the character, but I like retro stuff, so I'm hoping I get the chase on this bad boy. And Batman. And there's a few others, actually. There's a Huckleberry Hound, and Count Chocula, and they're going to be releasing more. What's that?
There's Booberry.
Yeah, they're going to be releasing more. I've seen the Chocula and the Huckleberry Hound out. I haven't seen the Booberry, the Frankenberry yet, but they'll be coming. And they are limited, which is cool. So, I'm going to start with the big boy. It's the whole run is 7,500, and the chase is a 1 in 6. So the chase there's maybe only 1,250. I'm not a math guy. My degrees are in English, but in theater. So, but 1,250-ish, I'm guessing, is about what the chase is. So,
where can you find these, Tom?
What's that?
Where can you find these?
So this was the tough part because people don't want to tell you online where they're getting them from because they are so limited. I happened to find these at the Toy Vault. It's a store in Rhode Island. I believe they have some mass locations too that deals with all sorts of collectibles and toys and old toys and stuff like that. And that's where I found them. I think Hot Topic had them for a little bit, but they sold out immediately. And then other I know of some secondhand retailers now that are selling them, like Spastic Collectibles, Nerdy Pie UK, and a few on Instagram. They're selling secondhand. So I don't know, aside from maybe the Funko shop, and I'm not talking the online shop, I'm talking either the one in Washington or the one in Hollywood. You might be able to get them. I don't really know. People aren't sharing. So, but that's where I found mine, at the Toy Vault. And they did have some today when I stopped by to grab these. So if you are $12.99. $12.99. So I'm going to start with the big boy. So it's 7,500 is the total run, and the chase is a 1 in 6. So let's see what we get.
Please.
Open, and they open like that. I dig the can too. It's really cool. So it comes wrapped like that, like so, and down below, it comes with this, and it tells you right on there if you got the chase or not. So I didn't get the chase in this one. It's one. See, it says 1 out of 6,300. So that's minus the. So I was pretty close. Minus 1,200. So it was 1,200 for the. There's only 1,200 of the chase. So I didn't get it on that one. I'll open it real quick so you can see it, so I can get to the other ones. But this is what the figure looks like. And like I said, these will be down in the studio. I'm going to keep some at my house because I like them, but they'll be down there. And that's what it looks like. And 1 out of 6,300 minus the 1,200 of the chase. So how I see most people displaying them, just kind of together like that. So, and again, they'll be on display down in our studio. All right, next up, I'm going to save the Crusader Rabbit for last because that's one I'm most excited for. Next, we'll go with the Lion-O. So the Lion-O is 1 in 7,500, which means there's, again, 1,200 chase. And this one's cool because the chase is glow in the dark. So let's find out if we got the chase. There we go. Bum, bum, bum. Uh-oh. You found the chase.
Oh, man.
1 in 1,200, baby. You found the chase.
Derek said he's buying off you for $1,000 right now.
1,000. Do I hear 1,100? And that's what he looks like. Sweet. I'll have to. I'll probably be taking this one home. I will post a picture on Instagram of what the glow looks like. So Geek Perspective on Instagram, guys, check it out, and you'll get to see what the glow looks like on this bad boy. Sweet. All right. Next, we're gonna go with Batman. So this is the biggest run that I've seen, 10,000. So a 1 in 6, I don't know, 2,200, something like that. Again, I'm not a math person. Let's see what happens with the Batman.
Like you found Robin instead.
I've seen Robin out there. I'd rather have Robin. I'm more of a Robin fan than Batman.
I thought I've seen Robin.
Okay, so it's okay. Didn't get it. So 1 out of 8,400. That means, so let me do math real quick. So I guess 1,600 would be the chase. That means 600. Yeah. So there's only 1,600 of the Batman chase, but we did not get them. Let's see. Again, this will be in our studio to check it out. But that's the Batman. All right. And the last one today, the Crusader Rabbit. I'm excited about this one. This has the smallest run that I've seen. I'm not saying it's the smallest out there, but it's the smallest run I've seen. It's 5,000. So, again, trying to do math in my head, 800-ish would be 1 in 6, about. So, dun, dun, dun. Oh, yeah. You found the chase, baby.
Man.
1 in 800. And this isn't a glow chase. So I wonder what makes it a chase.
Sarah said 1,500. I'll buy it off you right now.
I wish
Right
I had
here.
all this money that you say I have.
All right, hang on. Oh, they decided to add a little extra tape on this one. So,
That's the
Oh,
chase
cool.
part.
Right? Extra tape.
cool. So compared to the other one, it's just a little. It's kind of metallic looking, I guess, compared to the non-chase. So the non-chase is a little more flat colored looking. So cool. So 1 in 800 on that bad boy. And that's what I have today, boys. As far as that.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
So they don't just sell them in any store. You have to go to a specific store. You think?
Like I said, I've only found them at Toy Vault, but I mean, you never know. A local comic shop could have ordered some and got them. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like I said, I had no idea. People were asking online, and nobody was responding, and so I was going to Hot Topic, and and I wasn't seeing them. I had known some people had ordered them from Hot Topic, so I was going there. I wasn't seeing them, and there happens to be a Toy Vault in that same mall, so I just walked upstairs. It's one floor up, and they had a bunch, so I grabbed them from there. That's where I know they're at, but I mean, like I said, they could be a lot of places for all I know. But I dig them. I think they're really cool. So
Looks like you had a 50% chance, sir.
yeah, 50% success rate on that. 2 out of 4 chase. That's not too bad. So
Yeah,
I'm usually never that lucky.
right.
Usually never that lucky. So yeah, cool. Very cool. Very cool. All right.
So let's get into some movies and TV shows.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if you guys have been following Batwoman at all. I know Derek's not because he still has molasses.
I have not watched it yet.
Have you guys seen Ruby Rose in anything else as an actress?
No.
Who's the actress that plays it? Do you know her name or?
Ruby Rose.
Oh, is the actress's name?
Yes.
Oh, I thought that was the character. Okay.
No, the character's name is Cat Kane.
Yes.
Oh, Cat Keen. Oh, she plays Cat Keen. Okay.
Yes.
I have not. I'm gonna look her up right now. I have not seen her in anything.
At the very beginning, she was okay, but the more I watch this show, she is totally killing me.
Well, now that I'm looking at it, she was really a model. She's got her style, so maybe that's why she's not so good. I mean, I don't know.
She's just so stiff. Just watch any episode, and it's like, I think it should get better as she went along.
But there's also really not a lot of like fight scenes yet. I feel like they've had a couple here and there, like a couple big ones.
Fight scene to hide her horrible acting. Yeah,
Or
let's throw in a fist fight because she can't act. So we'll be. No, I see what you're saying. I'm okay with not a lot of action, and there could be a little bit more, but I'm okay with that. It's just that when I watch this show, like I'm getting real close to stop watching it. Your acting is just killing me.
Would you say they'd rather do the show about Alice instead?
She's a much better actress. like the actors on the show are really good, except for her, and it's not good when she's the star of the show. And I'm interested to see what people that watch the show think. Because I'm hearing mixed things about it. I'm hearing some saying that it's already going to get picked up. Then I hear some saying that it might get canceled. So, like, I don't know what's going on there. But I just don't get it. Just watch it and let me know what you guys think.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it just to see. I just want to see what you're talking about.
And next week, give me your opinion because, like, I mean, she's killing me. She's so killing me. Like scraping a chalkboard, killing me. It's just horrible.
That bad, huh?
Man, for a while I was okay with it because it was a new show, but she hasn't gotten any better. She's gotten none better.
But would you say she's gotten worse?
I don't think she's gotten worse either. I think she's just who she is. She's just not a good actress right now. maybe next season she'll improve if there is another season. We'll have to see. And maybe if you would catch up, you would actually know what was going on.
Well, they filmed these so far in advance. I mean, it's hard to notice it from episode to episode improvement.
Yeah, it'll take a while. It's probably something where you'd have to watch from the beginning again to focus on something like that. But I don't know.
Maybe it's just not her style of show.
Anything's possible. I mean, I don't know. But I want you guys to stay tuned because we got some Comic Con news coming up in future episodes. Because TerraCon is coming up in June, and Comic Con is coming up in the fall, November, and people are being added pretty steadily. And I think we're pretty much up to date as of right now of who's there. But stay tuned, stay informed. We're going to keep you up to date on who is coming because we still got to decide if we're gonna work it in June or if we're gonna just go.
Yeah, I mean, I keep going back and forth. It might be fun to just go.
Right.
I think if you guys are on the fence like this long, it's just better to go. If you haven't decided you want to volunteer yet, then I would say just
well.
go.
And the nice thing about going is that if we go, on the Saturday and we see everything we want to see, do everything we want to do, we just don't, we don't have to go Sunday,
Yeah.
or we decide it's so awesome and we want to go back. You know what I mean? So
Sunday because it'll be quieter on Sunday.
Yeah, it's true. Sundays are the best days at cons. And speaking of cons, this weekend is South Coast Comic Con in Swansea, Massachusetts. Smaller con. I think I'm going tomorrow for a couple hours.
I want to go. But
It's at the Venus de Milo, right?
Yeah, it's at the Venus de Milo. I don't know if he's watching right now, but he usually watches at some point or another. My buddy Chris, who I work with, he is going to go. My other buddy was going to go. He could not make it. Roy can't make it now, but it's not a big con. It's I haven't been to this one, but it's thrown by Altered Reality, who we work with. They throw Rhode Island Comic Con, they do TerraCon, they do Colorado Springs, and they're doing the con at sea this year, the cruise ship con, Comic Con on a cruise ship this year. But yeah, so I'll have some news on that next week too to let you know how it is. It's more of a collectible. If there are like celebrities, it's more like local comic artists and stuff and writers and stuff. But yeah, it should be interesting. I like going to little cons like that and supporting them.
Do you know what cruise I want to go on? The Chris Jericho cruise.
Yes, that looks cool. Oh, Linda. Hey, Linda. I'm seeing her. It's cool now that I have all this access. I get to see the comments before you even put them on the screen. So
nice.
I have to wait till they put them on the screen.
So
Linda's saying she can't hear me.
Yeah, you just went up a good amount though.
Okay,
so
good. All right, so everybody, now that you can hear me, make sure you like and subscribe. Click the little bell so you get informed when we release new content. And make sure to comment on this video and let us know if you like those little thingamajiggies that Tom just showed us. And let me know what you think about Ruby Rose playing Batwoman. Is she a horrible actress or what? Let us know. So now it's time for the review of all reviews. Ready Player One. Derek, take it away.
All right, so we're going to start with, did you guys know that this was directed by Spielberg?
Yes. And I'm very disappointed in him.
Why?
Oh, you'll find out.
So this was released March 29th, 2018. The budget was between 155 and 175 million and was a success at the box office, making 582.9 million.
Which blows my mind. How the bleep did that make that much money? That's gonna be a lie.
Yeah, dude, that's over $500 million.
There's no way that made that.
I'm just going based off what the internet says.
I mean, I believe it. I mean,
Yeah,
you got gamers and whatever. So
I feel like it just hit like on so many like probably niches that like it was able to draw that. So for the actors and actresses, we have Ty Sheridan, who played Wade Watts dash Percival, his gamer name. Olivia Cook was Samantha, and her gamer name was Artemis. We have Ben Mendelsohn, who played Nolan Sorrento, the villain in the movie. Surprised to learn this one. The character Ogden Morrow was played by Simon Pegg.
He was awesome. I love Simon Pegg.
Yeah, Simon Pegg's great.
We have Lena Waithe, who played H. Mark Rylance, who played Halliday. Win Morisaki, who played Daito. Philip Zhao, who played Sho. And those are the main characters.
Nice.
So it takes place in 2045, so it's futuristic in Ohio. Columbus, I believe it was. Was it Columbus?
Yes.
Yeah. Columbus sounded right. So it starts with everything. You get like a background for this thing called the Oasis, which is a virtual reality world where apparently that's more popular than regular money and regular jobs, because you get a little montage of people working in offices losing their money, losing everything, and then they decide they're gonna jump out windows. The creator of the Oasis, Halliday, passes. They say that he passed away. They didn't say how or why, but that he released an Easter egg in this gaming world, where there's 3 keys, and if you find the 3 keys, you win. You get to control the Oasis, and you're like pretty much a trillionaire. So they have these egg hunters, which they call Gunters, looking for the keys. I laughed at the name Gunters too.
Gunter.
And then you have Nolan Sorrento, who's the CEO of Innovative Online Industries, or IOI, who wants to control the Oasis for himself. And they have many employees that they call Sixers, which are doing the same thing as the Gunters, trying to find the keys. So they have a place inside this world where you can review Halliday's life, like his archives, to get your information to try to find the eggs and the keys. And the first one is a racing game where you have to win a race. And it was a very deadly race involving King Kong, dinosaurs, mines, jumping over bridges.
Yeah, it was like a death race.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, when it's Percival's turn to like make the jump, he just stops short of the King Kong who's blocking the bridge, and stops Artemis from jumping, who, had she gone for the jump, looks like she would have been zeroed out by King Kong, who caught the motorcycle. So what do you guys think of the racing map? Like how many different things it was touching on? Like
See, I thought that was really cool personally, and honestly, it kind of ties into what I thought was the coolest part of this movie. Visually, this movie is very, very cool, in my opinion. I know it. I kind of said it to you guys on our text chain there or whatever, group text, and yeah, I you know, like, and I'll get more into my actual feelings, but visually, awesome, and I thought it was cool personally. I did. I thought that part was pretty damn cool. So.
Yeah, I thought that part was one of the highlights of the movie for me.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, this movie might go somewhere.
Well, I like how they infused the gaming world with movies, like pop culture movies too. On top of that,
Yeah, that was very cool.
So they end up figuring out that the way to win the race and get the first key is like you don't go forward in the race; you actually drive backwards. And it takes you through the underground of the map so you can actually see the race above you. And you come out in the park where the finish line is, and then you get your key. For the second task, I think you guys were probably surprised to see that it involved The Shining.
I know, I'm watching it, and I see the 2 girls get the elevator. I'm like, wait, what? because I was falling asleep. I was like, "What is going on here?" And then all of a sudden, I see the elevator in the hotel. I'm like, "Wait a minute!" And then the blood started coming. I'm like,
Yeah,
"Oh!" I get all
that was
excited.
cool. I
I
wish
was
they would have
very
done
happy.
more. Went more down that way.
And it's funny you say that because I looked online after I watched the movie to see what people thought, and that was one of the big criticisms is that they a lot of people felt they didn't do enough with that. They felt that that could have went in a whole direction on its own and could have made the movie that much more compelling.
I thought they could have done that in a few spots in this movie, honestly.
Right.
And for that reason, the movie felt almost a little schizophrenic to me because they touched on so many things. And I'm not saying that in a derogatory. I know people struggle with schizophrenia. I have friends that have schizophrenia. I'm not making light of that. It's just the only word I can think of with the movie. So it's probably better it didn't go down all these rabbit holes because there was a lot of stuff in there, and it's like, oh, that would have been cool if they kind of explored that more. But either the movie would have went way off the rails, or it would have been like a 10-hour movie.
Well, they'll say it would have been like a 4-hour movie if because I
Yeah,
thought the same thing. Some parts were like, "That's really cool. I wish they could have expanded on that."
yeah,
But you can't do that because then you get
exactly.
you're doing two parts of the movie at that point.
Yeah.
Yes.
So turns out like there's actually a hidden room in there with I forget his name already. with Halliday's love that he went on one date with, and it was like a backdoor thing where they had to dance with zombies to get the second key.
I actually like that part actually.
Yeah.
So by this point in the movie, there's a scoreboard when they find these keys. So when Percival got the first key, his name popped up for first place with, I think it was $1 million or 100,000, whatever they broke it into for that money. So then it was his friends that he told got the key next, and then the IOIs decided to start hunting him down to find him in the real world. And Percival slips up, tells Artemis that he's in love with her, and reveals his real name. And then the spy for the company is able to get all his real world information just by knowing his name. And then it triggers Morrow to meet with Percival to try to get him to his side. Like, say, I'll give you $25 million. You work for me, and we figure out how to get the 3 keys. He turns him down, which resulted in him blowing up his house. So by the second challenge, like they're getting chased. They capture Artemis because turns out her father had a past with the company, owed a debt, and now she's in their camp trying to work it off. By the time this third challenge starts, which they are on Planet Doom. I don't know if that's like a reference to the Doom game. I didn't play it. Then it's just like an arcade quarter game. You got to figure out which game gives you the third key, and he has this orb of Ozuvox. I think that's how they pronounced it, which pretty much created a barrier, so only the IOIs were the ones participating in this challenge.
By the way, Planet Doom is from Voltron.
Oh, it's from Voltron?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for clearing that up.
No problem. Ready Player One is the name, Linda.
Keep up, Linda.
Okay. So while Artemis is in the company trying to work off her debt, Percival and everybody else managed to free her. and she's able to disarm the force field so they can get to the third key.
Mhm.
And it's like a bunch of 70s games I think they're playing, like Adventure, Asteroid. I don't remember all the ones that they had tried.
Hmm.
Early 80s.
The early 80s.
Some might have been late 70s too. Yeah, late 70s, early 80s.
So the trick, they have this epic fight scene where you see all these characters from anime, movies, TV, video games, all coming out together. There's a Voltron, not Voltron. There's Gundam. There's Mecha Godzilla. Some modern characters from Tracer from Overwatch. You guys see any characters you liked?
Godzilla,
Yeah, King Kong.
King
He's
Kong.
one of my all-time favorite characters from fiction. He's always has been. I
I've
love
never been a King Kong fan.
So yeah, I was always King Kong over Godzilla for some reason. I don't know. Ever since I was a kid, I'm a
Because
Kong
you're,
guy.
wrong.
Yeah. Here we go. Here we go.
Godzilla is the
What time
beast of the east. Go ahead, Derek.
All right, so they have like that big 15-minute fight scene to get Percival to the arcade game where he can get the third key. I don't know if I want to keep going because then I'm going to say like the actual ending and like what happens when.
Well, it's your review.
I
You
know.
should have had it all figured out how you're gonna end it.
Either way, I mean, you don't have to give it away.
No.
You can kind of just sum up the end if you want. If you don't want to give
Yeah,
it away,
yeah.
or we can say spoilers. It's up to you.
I mean, when he finally gets to the game, he realizes there's a couple more tricks ahead after upon the game ending.
And then the winner is
The winner is him and his.
the winner happens, and then things change, and you have to watch the movie to see if it changed for the better or for the worse.
Yeah.
Linda, watch the damn movie.
I mean,
Linda Mannery.
well, I mean, that's we want you guys to watch all the movie if you can. We understand if you can't, you know.
If you want to, if you want to.
Yeah, if you want to, you know what I mean. We recommend watching, even if we don't, you know, a lot of times one of us or two of us don't like a movie, or sometimes all three of us don't like a movie. But you know, it happens a lot. I pick movies; these guys hate them. You know, we hate a lot of Derek's.
Everyone loves my movies because my movies are
But
amazing.
I mean, if Roy makes us sit through Star Wars,
Oh, we're not even done with Star Wars, people.
yeah.
Bastards.
So I mean, so even if we're you know, quote unquote shitting on them, we still want you to check them out. That's part of the fun. But if you don't, I understand. There's certain things. What's that?
I was saying a lot of it's out of fun too. Like I have issues with this movie, and we'll discuss them shortly. But like a lot of it's out of fun.
Yeah.
You know, we don't
Yeah,
have
of
to
course.
love
Yeah,
every
we
movie
like to have
each of
fun.
us wants us to review. Sometimes I'm
Yeah.
gonna pick some movies that I know they're gonna hate just out of spite because I want them to suffer and watch a movie that I know they're gonna hate. Like I might pick an anime just to watch Tom, you know, cry watching the movie because he hates anime so much. You know.
Well, I mean, I picked, like you said, I picked movies I don't like too, just
Yeah.
because I just wanted to, you know, I saw
Right.
them, and part of it was I just wanted to talk to people about the, you know what I mean, and see. Am I crazy for not, you know what I mean? Am I the only one that doesn't get this movie, or is it, you know what I mean? So we suggest you watch them all, but if you don't, we understand too. I mean, I do that with certain things like sports games and certain sports. I just, yeah, nice, Rich. King Kong can kick Godzilla's ass.
King Kong couldn't wipe his own ass.
I think the biggest surprise one was the Iron Giant.
Yes,
Linda, what is
right
Visions?
at the beginning too.
Linda, what is Visions? I have no idea what that is.
That sounds familiar. I'm gonna
Was
look
it?
that up.
I'm gonna guess we haven't seen it if we don't know what it is.
Linda has seen a movie that we haven't seen. How'd that happen? But as Tom was saying, Ready Player One is exactly the movie that he was just talking about for me, anyway. Because I've been kind of wanting to watch it, and I just haven't. And there've been a few movies where I haven't watched because I was kind of like, eh. But because of this show, I've had to watch it, and I either liked it or I didn't. I mean, we're not gonna like every movie we watch. It's just not gonna
Well,
happen.
not with that attitude, it won't.
Damn Skippy.
So Linda, so I just looked up Visions. Sorry, it's a Bloomhouse movie, and
Blumhouse.
yeah, it's 2015 Bloomhouse horror movie.
Hmm.
So yeah, I'll definitely check that out, Linda. I mean,
Yeah. I
you
like
know,
I like Blumhouse.
yeah.
All right, so what are you guys' overall thoughts of this movie?
Well, I mean, where was it? Hang on, sorry, I just had my notes up, and if you want to say something, but the soundtrack, and I'm not talking about the score. So difference between score and a soundtrack. Score is original music, soundtrack is the music usually that they pick from pop culture that fits it. And the soundtrack was great, dude. The sound, oh my god. There was some Tears for Fears, Van Halen. I'm not a Van Halen fan, but I still kind of like that. And
Twisted
who else?
Sister.
Twisted Sister. Yup. We're not. Hang on. Okay, I got my notes now.
I was so half asleep watching this movie that I actually put it for music score. Music in this film didn't work for me because I wasn't thrilled by it. Everybody, that is a review from somebody who's exhausted and had no concept of what he was doing because I like the music, but I just didn't remember it. So
Yeah.
I wrote, I didn't like it.
This soundtrack. So we had Prince, Tears for Fears, The Temptations, Springsteen, Blondie, Earth, Wind and Fire, New Order, Bee Gees, Twisted Sister, Hall & Oates, Brian Nugent. It's like
I think
don't
he's gonna
remember any of that
update.
music.
I think he's gonna update his review of the music later.
I don't remember any of that music. And I just want to preface this by saying Linda knows this. I watched the movie last night, and I'm not making excuses, but I went out drinking with some friends, and I didn't even drink much. I was sober, so I don't have an excuse as to why I missed that part of it. But I totally do not remember any of that music. That movie.
Like even like that was the beginning of the battle scene. He's literally holding up the boombox and then just stop playing. We're not gonna take it.
Yeah.
Don't remember that at all.
I mean, it
And
opened.
I was awake because
open-
I was washing clothes, so I was awake. I was doing laundry.
Yeah,
Anyway, we'll get to
doesn't it open with Van Halen?
I think it did.
Jump or something. I think when he's kind of getting down to where you first see Iron Giant there, you know what I mean, where he walks in there and stuff, he's like sliding down the shit and whatever. Yeah, the soundtrack was amazing in my opinion, and the original score, I mean, was fine. Yeah, it was Jump in the beginning. I'm looking at my notes now. I wrote that. Yeah, so that and visually for me were the two best parts of it. The whole aesthetic with, you had some live action and then the like computer generate. It was really cool. It was, I thought that visually it was really, really cool. And the music just enhanced the visual for me. Aside from that, the story and stuff, I'm not big on, and I know it's not just a straightforward video game movie, but I'm not big on video game movies. You know what I mean? Because
Earth, Wind, and Fire are awesome, Linda.
Yes. So is Prince. I love Prince. I don't like, it's like I say the soundtrack's awesome, and I don't necessarily like all those people, but I like the soundtrack because it brought me back to my childhood. And some of it was even before my childhood, some 70s, I was born in 80.
Was there country music involved?
I didn't notice any country.
Good.
No, there was no country.
So what you guys think of the story?
That's what I was just saying. The story I was not that big of a fan of personally.
Well, I had some issues.
Yeah, go for it.
So I like the idea of people seeking escape to the virtual reality. That was very cool, which is why I wanted to watch this movie in the first place. I was like, that's kind of cool. I can see that in the future. And I like the idea of the movie having the golden egg of the contest. That was a good idea. And I like the idea of that a possible kid, whatever the freak his name is, and he's supposed to sign a contract, and he refused to sign the contract originally because he knew it was a scam. And then the guy reveals the contract that it was the final test, and that just to make sure that he didn't make the same mistakes again. Again, I thought that was a cool part of the movie, but overall, it just it didn't keep my focus on the movie for some reason. I don't know why, because everything I just said, I like those parts of the movie. I like the process of the movie. I like the concept of that movie that way, but for whatever reason, I just couldn't.
So let me ask you, because I don't know if this was the case, Roy, but for me, but I think it might be part of it. I kind of felt like it's like some of the references were awesome, but I kind of felt like I was old for some of the references, like in the video, like some of the video game references, and not in the fact that I'm an old man, but like I'm older and I don't know them as well. You know, I might have like a passing familiarity, but it's like I'm not as big as a gamer as Derek. You know what I mean?
Right.
Do you think that had something to do with your enjoyment?
That might be a big part of it because, like I said, the the whole process of it, of everything I just said in the movie itself, it intrigues me. I wanted to watch the film. I wanted to watch this movie. It wasn't like some of the movies that Derek's picked with the anime. Was kind of like, I don't know, but I actually really wanted to watch this. I was looking forward to it,
You too.
but it just couldn't keep my attention.
Yeah.
Which is sad because I was like, I've been wanting to watch this movie for a couple of years.
Well, I remember I said it to Derek too when he picked it. I said I've been looking for an excuse to watch that, you know. And I know it's one of the ones I know the girlfriend won't watch. You know, she don't dig video games, and yeah, and same thing. I wanted to do it, and like you, like I wasn't tired. I was watching it during the day. I work nights, so I do a lot of my either after work, but then it usually takes 2 or 3 nights because I get out of work at like 1 a.m. I get home at 2. Where but I was watching during the day, but it was just I had to get up and be doing stuff. You know what I mean? So I ended up watching the whole thing. You know what I mean? But I just had to be moving because I knew if I just sat there, I would have probably ended up flipping it. You know? So yeah, there was a disconnect from me as well.
What about you, Derek?
Well, I liked a lot of the movie because like the virtual reality thing, like it's slowly happening. You got some VR games now.
Mm-hmm.
PlayStation, I think, has it.
I want the VR for PS4. It's fucking awesome.
If it'll go into the extent like Oasis was making it look like, it was another story. It's just like their idea of what virtual reality might look like in 20 years.
I'm surprised there wasn't a game based off this. You do a VR game like based on this. That would have been pretty cool, actually.
Yeah. When I was doing my notes, I read this was based off a book, and they're working on a sequel to the book, and the author thinks there'll be a sequel to the movie, but he doesn't know if he doesn't think Spielberg will want to be involved in it this time around because of Spielberg is going on record saying this was the 3rd hardest film that he has ever been a part of in his whole career. That's saying something. I mean, think about how long Spielberg's been around for. You know what I mean? Working between directing and whatever, producing and stuff. So,
well, a lot of it's all special effects for this movie.
Yeah,
like a lot of CGI.
Speaking about the special effects and CGI, what did you guys think of that?
I thought it was great. I liked the style of it personally. Like I said, visually I loved it, and I just loved how that looked. The special, the CGI, the special effects. It just, for me, it was really cool.
Well, all you have to say is ILM, Industrial Light and Magic.
Yeah,
one of the greatest effects companies in the world.
Yes,
if not the greatest.
They are,
without question.
Yeah, without a doubt.
And I was reading that Spielberg worked with them for 3 hours a day, 3 times a week. So he was very hands-on for this.
Yeah. Think about it. That's a lot of time, dude. On top of all his other stuff. Oh, yes. Man. So, yeah, I can see why he would say that's his, 3rd hardest film then, you know?
Right.
It's like if you're doing that plus all this other, oh yeah, dude, that's
If
a lot
this was like his third hardest, I want to know what his two hardest were.
Yeah, we'd like to know that too. Yeah, that's
yeah, I
interesting.
would too. I would too. Let me see if you guys talk. I'll see if I can find that.
It probably won't be E.T.
So I will give my overall view.
Yeah, go for
It was just tough to watch for me, and I kind of went over it. I like the idea of the movie, but for some reason, like I said, I don't know if it was Tom's reasoning that like there was a disconnect with some of the lingo, but usually I can get past that. But I just could not get into this movie, and it's like I really wanted to because like the whole process of this, it's like I wouldn't say my kind of movie, but it's a movie that I can see myself. That was pretty good. But for myself, I can't even say that for some reason. I don't know why. I just could not get into it. What about you, Derek?
I mean, like I like the virtual reality stuff. I've seen animes where they do like virtual reality, completely different. Because like their version of it is it's just one world for the one game. This was kind of like everything's in the VR, kind of like everything's on the internet now. Everything's just VR.
Right.
Oh, I found the answer, boys. To Spielberg's hardest films.
You gonna tell us?
I was waiting. Okay.
Start with number 2.
Okay, you guys got any guess before I name the two ahead of it?
Gremlins.
Derek?
I don't want to say ET because I don't think it was that hard to work on.
I don't know.
Whatever. Just any guess you want.
I'll just say ET because
I can see that. I can see that actually.
I can see E.T. Nope. Jaws, which makes sense. One of his earlier films, and I've heard about the making and the shark. I'm sure you have too, Roy.
Yep.
The whole shark and stuff. And this one, I find this interesting, but it does make sense. Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah, I think there were issues with that film also.
Yeah.
I actually got a lot of my information, which I can't think of it on the top of my head, from actually one of the stars of Jaws. She was in the movie, and I actually met her at Rhode Island Comic Con, and she told me a lot of stories, which at the moment just not in my head at all. But I was sitting there for a couple hours, probably total over the weekend, and she would tell me little stories about the filming of that film. And I remember going away thinking, Jesus Christ, it's amazing they made that movie, and it was as great as it was with all the problems they had. Like she was telling me there were all kinds of issues. Like there was, from the actual the shock itself. For they had permit issues. I think she was saying to film. It was like just one thing after another. She said it was crazy, but they made it, and it's one of the greatest films in history.
I think it's funny that he said like those so the two that you just told us plus this one, like they all have like their own different challenges. So it's not like it's not like it's the same thing over for 3 movies.
Right.
So like that.
All right, Tom, what's your overall thought of the film?
Not a huge. All right, like I said, loved those two aspects, and that was kind of it for me. It wasn't crazy about the film at all. Like I said, I don't know. Like I said earlier, with being a little older and a disconnect, I don't know if that was it or I know that was part of it. And I thinking about it right now, I would say probably a big part of it. I don't, but there's something else that I just can't put my finger on as to why I didn't like it. You know what I mean? And I wanted to like it and I wanted to see it. And there's something there that I can't, it's one of these ones that it's like, this always happens to me. I can't think of it. And then as soon as we go off the air, I think about it. I think of it and then I have to say it next week, and then all of a sudden, but we're on to another movie and it's out of everybody's head. So it doesn't make, I say it, but it doesn't make a difference. So, but overall, yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of the movie.
What about you, Derek?
I think it's like one of the better movies I've seen like recently, like the last few years.
You know your anime?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I even saw an anime movie on Wednesday.
That's right. How would that go?
It was good. It was
What'd you see?
Ride Your Wave. It was subtitled. It was in
You
Japanese.
trying to tell me to ride a wave?
Ride Your Wave is the name of it.
Screw you. Ride your own wave.
Do you want like a Cliff Notes version of it?
Sure.
So it's a sad love story. Two characters. The first
Wait,
40.
is it with you with love stories? Watch a horror kill of
the
violent
the
blood.
first 40 minutes of is the two characters, like they have their story, how they meet, they fall in love, they're going out. The male character doesn't know how to surf, so she's teaching him. He tries to learn on his own, like after a few months, like to surprise her, to like, hey, look how much better I've been getting. But while he's out there, uh, a jet skier has an accident. He goes down to save him. He passes in the process. So then the next 40 minutes is her trying to get over it, and then she realizes every time she sings their song, she sees him in the water, and then like it's just trying to move on from that, which he eventually does at the end of the movie.
I see what Linda said. Yeah, I'm looking forward to The Walking Dead, even though it hasn't been good. And then, so we're going for 2 weeks at in 2 weeks at Linda's.
Sure.
I'm down for that. You know,
Yeah.
if I'm closer, so it's like I got my computer, and now we know I can host. You know what I mean? I can host through my Mac. Yeah, I have my iPad if people need it. We have our phones, so it just if necessary. So yeah, we can make that work. I'm looking forward to it, Linda. Looking forward to meeting you, Derek. How come you've been having us watch animes for going on a year now? How come you have not recommended Death Note?
Wait, the Netflix one?
I don't know. I just heard
because the Netflix
sounds really cool. He plays a note of music and it kills.
I heard
no,
the
that is
Netflix
not
one
it.
isn't that good though.
The Netflix one is horrible.
Yeah, that's what I've been told. That's
Oh,
why I haven't watched it.
It's surprising because like Willem Dafoe's in it. He does
Right.
play Ryuk the.
Yeah, I heard it was a horrible film.
But like they did so much stuff off like away from the anime and the manga.
Which is amazing to me.
That's why it's bad. Like they changed the name of a character. They changed the location of the movie.
I watched horror anime, and horror anime is pretty freaking awesome. The Japanese do amazing horror films. Like nothing shocks me much in my life, really, but I've seen some Japanese horror films that, oh my god, like you couldn't make them in this country because people they'd be rioting in the streets. It's like holy Jesus.
Most new horror is kind of a remake of something Japanese anyway.
Right. Just in a watered down version.
Yep. we Americanize it, kind of sanitize it so it's not as scary.
Yep.
For the American audiences and stuff. So my question about Death Note, real quick. So you said Netflix. It's only there. Was there a version before it went to Netflix, or is
the Netflix is just a movie for it? I would say if you want to know why the movie sucks, watch the movie, then watch the anime, and then you'll see why the movie sucked. Don't watch the anime and then watch the movie because then you might not make it through the movie.
Because that's what I was talking about, the anime. I don't know what it's on. I've just heard about the anime. He was talking. You know who it was? It was one of the wrestlers in the New Day. I was listening to his podcast, and it's the only anime that he likes is Death Note. So
we can talk about it off air. It's going to be a big discussion.
Well, all right. Well, we'll talk about it off air. Or table it for next week.
We can
an open discussion because this could be something people want to talk about, and because it's pretty common knowledge, not for everybody, obviously, but like I was gonna watch the film myself, and then all of a sudden I hear how horrible. Like you hear a film's horrible, no, everybody said it was horrible. Like I didn't hear anybody say anything good about the Netflix version. And I actually saved it on my Queen, what do you want to call it?
Remember when we did the Aragon review and like we all hated it?
Yep.
It would be like that.
it was like, everyone hated it. Everyone panned it. It was the most amazing thing where universally and anime people were pissed off. Like I'll never forget that. Like, wow. Like, well, I ain't watching it then because it was that bad. I'm gonna hate it probably.
What's the anime? Is it on Funimation or something? Or
yeah.
Oh, cool.
They might actually have it on Netflix too. I'll have to double check it later.
I'll look.
But But let's get on the next week's review.
Or did you guys want to do your overall rating for the movie?
Oh, but yeah, we
Oh,
all right.
yeah.
Jesus Christ, we're bouncing around, not even paying attention. There's like, what about me? People, hello.
So, out of 1 out of 10, what would you give it, Tom?
1 out of 10. Okay.
Oh, 1 to 10, I should say. 1 to 10. Yeah.
Yeah.
1 to 10.
1 to 10. I'll go 6.5. I'd go lower, but visually and the soundtrack bump it up to a 6.5. So not quite passing, but not too bad.
What about you, Roy?
I give it a 6, which technically is passing because it's about 50. But
Oh, see, where I'm from, it's 70 is passing.
where you're from, Rhode Island, the cool kids of Rhode Island.
It's always been 70. 69 is failing, 70 is passing. That's how it
In Massachusetts, baby, 69. We're up the next grade, baby. But yeah, I give it a 6 because of what Tom said. It had potential. I liked aspects of it, but it just couldn't hold my retention. Just that was it. So I give it a 6.
I'm going to give it an 8.5 because I just loved a lot of things with it. Like the graphics were amazing, soundtrack. I thought the acting was really good for it.
No one wants no Walking Dead discussion until we get to her house. Nothing.
Well,
That's
why don't
fine.
you talk about it? And I also did like the story, like the actual plot and everything. Like I thought it was really good and well done. It could have been a bad thing, but like I liked how everything was.
Yeah.
What did you give it for score? I'm sorry, I missed it.
I gave it an 8.5.
Nice.
I'd probably watch it a 5th time too.
And I just checked, both Death Notes are on the movie and the anime are on Netflix. So
Nice. Well, I have a great movie for you guys to watch next week, and you both are going to like this movie.
I can't wait.
It's a really good movie. The movie is called Hush, and it is a 2016 R-rated film on Netflix. Yes, it is on Netflix, people.
Nice.
Directed by Mike Flanagan. And some of his movie credits were Before I Awake, another really good movie, by the way. Ouija, The Origin of Evil, which
Ouija,
whatever. Because I in my realm we call it Ouija as a Ouija board, but whatever. Gerald's Game, which is Tom, have you seen Gerald's Game? You've seen Gerald's Game, Tom, haven't you?
It sounds familiar.
we say
Gerald's Game.
Okay, no, I have not seen it. No,
You gotta watch it. Really good film.
I'll put it on the list.
And recently, Dr. Sleep.
Which I really want to see, and that's been somebody's asked us to talk about those in relation to The Shining, so which we will do in the future. So
Tell them to post everything on a movie review.
This person's not. They're kind of like me. It's like I don't post on Facebook and stuff, but they did ask me just on one-on-one. You know what I mean? They just not a big social media person. So
that's understandable. So the next week's preview says she lives in isolation, a world of silence because she's deaf. And it says it doesn't mean she's easy. Oh, it doesn't mean she's easy prey. And then one person's going to find out the hard way, which basically what the premise of the film is a woman who's deaf who's just got a relationship. She's out in the boonies. I believe she's writing a book, and basically someone tries to kill her essentially, and it's basically a cat and mouse game between him and her, and it's just a really, really good film. I didn't expect to like it, but oh my god, it's probably one of my favorite films I would dare say I've ever seen.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
It's that good. It's one of those films that you watch it and you're like, at least I was like, why did I like this so much? It was just a really good film. It was well done. You know, the way I look at it is, this is a movie where the main character doesn't speak. I'm not an actor. I've never been an actor, but it's gonna be hard to be in a role of anything, and your communication is all through your mannerisms, how you move. That's gonna be really difficult.
Dude, that's
And
that's impressive to watch somebody do it.
yeah,
It's
I was amazed.
awesome. I might watch this tonight. You got me all jazzed up to see it, Roy.
Nice.
No,
Watch it.
No, today's an anime day.
Every day's an anime day with you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go see another anime movie on Wednesday.
All right, I'm sure you are.
My Hero Academia.
Oh Jesus! You guys have any last words for the people?
No, just tune in next. Oh, check us out on social media, guys. We're on all platforms. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Bumble, Clover, LinkedIn. We're on all of them. So check us out.
YouTube. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us today, everybody. For Tom, Dirk, and myself, have a geeky great evening, and make sure you watch Hush. That way you can conversate with us next week and tell us what you think of the movie. See ya.
Thanks.